What's going on, everybody? Listen, look at us. We have the intro to our podcast this week. So we are moving up in the professional ranks.
I've officially saved my job for another
shade thrown.
Another 4 days. Another 3 days. But no, thanks for you listen to the Juice Box Heroes podcast. Thank you all for tuning in on this Sunday evening. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'm one of your hosts, PK, as always, with the Dubon Fan Club president, Mr. Chris Moreno, and Sweet B Bones. We celebrate a Longhorn sweep this weekend, reminding A&M who the big
yes,
brother
sir.
is. But we're going to talk about the Astros and what happened this weekend in Kansas City. It seems like Kansas City seems like they kind of have our number here when we're in KC the last couple of years. But before we get into that, fellas, how was y'all's weekend?
Very long, very long. I feel like I've been at that damn baseball field more than I've been home. And it's probably not going to get any better anytime soon as we gear up for playoffs. But hey, there's always some awesome stuff to look forward to as far as looking at, I was like, we can go watch the Astros. And then we see what they did, Friday night, Saturday night. So it's been a long weekend. I'm ready to go to bed. Browse, how was your weekend?
Well, buddy, I'm going to send a Red Bull your way. Maybe that'll help you out for at least Monday morning, right? But no, I had a great weekend. Don't get too excited about it. No, anyway, I had a great weekend. It was good to get a little BP in on Friday with the kids. And then obviously we did have 3 days of Astros baseball. And my daughter had her end of the season rock concert tonight. So that was awesome to get to see. But anyway, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. I don't think we've got a lot of to talk about for the first 2 games of that series, but I'm still looking forward to getting into it. And then obviously talking about what we got coming up this week. PK, what you got, man?
Oh, man. Let's see. What do we have? We had volleyball on Saturday. My youngest daughter, just another warm-up tournament before we play at Georgia Brown this weekend for 2 days. She got baptized today. The same younger daughter got baptized this morning at church. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To be there for that. She's been wanting to do that for a minute, and it happened today. So all in all, it's a good weekend. Family-wise, Astros-wise, 2 out of 3 games. We kind of wasted some pitching, at least on Saturday. But we went into the series. I think we were 5 out of 6 going into the series. Winners 5 out of the last 6. So you kind of thought that we were going to kind of roll into that, especially with the way that our rotation was lining up. You kind of expected to see 2 wins, at least 2 wins, out of that series. I think most of us, I think all 3 of us did 2-1 for the weekend. I can't remember. I know I did. Hunter Brown pitches like freaking Hunter Brown has been pitching all year. He's up to like 23, I think, scoreless innings, I believe is what it is. He's now like the 5th Astros pitcher in franchise history. He's sitting at number 5. So Royo sits at top, I think, with 31 or 38. But Hunter Brown doing Hunter Brown things. And we'll kind of get into that. Fromber pitched pretty damn good yesterday. Like, he pitched pretty damn good. It's the offense. It is the offense. I mean, who pitched yesterday? Waka? Michael Waka was yesterday, I think.
Yeah, it was Waka.
Yeah. Michael Waka was good like 12 years ago.
Yeah, with the Cardinals. When he was with the Cardinals. So we our bats just didn't do anything. The fact is that you scored the same amount of runs as the Royals did over this series, and you lost the series. Right? But you got all your runs today. You held them to no more than 3 runs in 3 games, right? 2 on Friday, 2 Saturday, 3 today in garbage time. You had Taylor Scott on the pitching when they got their 3rd run. But up until that point, you were going to score more runs in this series than the Royals did, and you were going to lose the series. So that's kind of how the weekend went for the Astros. Great. Jordan hit a bomb today, 423 feet, just to the right of dead center. Yiner hit an oppo bomb. Really, I'm happy for Jordan because now he's finally, I think he's slowly been getting to that mark where he's been putting the bat on the ball pretty damn good, but just under or whatnot. So I know you guys were pretty busy, so I don't know how much of the game y'all got to watch over the weekend. Christian said you were busy, so let's start with whatever you think, how you think it went. We can bitch and moan about the hitting and go from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm definitely gonna sound like grouchy grandpa here. I saw bits and pieces throughout the weekend, and it's just like, I mean, it's just looking at the box score. I mean, like, it's atrocious to look at. I mean, it's again like yesterday, 3 hits, 3 damn hits, and we're 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and it's like, again, we discussed this back, on Thursday when we were like, "Hey, this is a very sweepable series. This is at least a
Yeah.
2-1 because of the pitching matchups that we had were definitely in our favor." But it's just like, golly, man, what is going on with this offense? Like, why can't we put together an offense that's not hammered dog shit? Because that's what it is. I mean, like, we can sit here and we can try to be all super positive that we want to. I mean, it is completely draining on how terrible this offense is. And it's great. Great job. They put up 7 runs. Great. That means tomorrow or whenever they play next, they'll put up 1 on, 3 hits again. It'll be one of those 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. I'm at the point right now. Who is it? Cintron? Cintron's the hitting
Yes.
coach? I think he's got to
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
He's done. Like, my sympathy for him officially died because that was like I said, that was a very sweepable series. Right now, what is their record now? Like 11. I don't know. What is their record?
We are 14-13, I think.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
that could
14-13 or 500, one of the two.
all right. That could have been a weekend that we could have probably maybe even jumped Texas and taken the lead in the division. And instead, because you can't score. I mean, so we talked about this enough. This is starting to become our offensive, our outfield, bitch and
Mhm.
moans from spring training. But it's like, again, this is not something new that just started this season. I mean, this was the majority of the reason why you fell 12 games under 500 last year was because you'd have good pitching, and you can't hit your way out of a paper bag. I mean, so it's frustrating because, like, you want to celebrate a win today. I mean, but Jesus, man, like, you scored. I mean, what was it? 26 consecutive scoreless innings. I mean, come on, this offense is not that damn bad. I mean,
No,
so
not at all.
something's got to change. Something has to change, or it's just we're going to sit here and we're just going to teeter tot with 500 and right below 500, and then we're going to end up having to trade Fromber at the trade deadline, and everybody in the city of Houston's going to bitch about it. That's where we're headed, and I'll hand it over to Bryles.
Follow that.
Whew, man,
right.
you there for 1 second scared me with like trade Jordan. I'm like, wait, whoa, Chris gone off the rails, man.
I thought he was about to
That's
say,
not-
"I'll
that's
hang
not
up
quite
and
where we
listen,"
need to
like
be,
he was
but
on a
anyway,
radio
no.
call.
I'm out, guys, and I'm out.
I'm gonna hang up and listen. But no, to kind of accentuate that, I find our offense confusing because it's not like we said this last year. We're consistently inconsistent, and I feel like it's kind of dripping into 2025 as well. Because I mean, before that, we would see games where we would have at least 4 runs, right? 4 or 5 runs. And I'm saying back like 23, 22, stuff like that. But last year and this year, what we're seeing is spurts. We're seeing streaky hitting to where, like today, we put 7 runs up on the board. I mean, we've been putting big numbers up on the board and then following it up with nothing. And that Friday and Saturday game, I mean, they're completely forgettable, which is terrible. And PK, you touched on this, but it's like the pitching in both those games were very decent. I mean, it was good pitching all the way around, but at the same time, we're not scoring any runs. So how do you expect to win when you've got our pitchers going out there throwing a good game? We're only giving up from our entire pitching staff 2 runs a game, and we're getting beat 2-0. So something in there's got to change. I like the Cintron move, getting him out of there because honestly, I think he does have a lot to do with that. I also know he's got a hot head. We've had problems with him in the past too. I'm not saying he's a bad guy by any means, but I think a change has got to happen. And I'll say it again, I've talked about, like, at least we've got to have that party starter somewhere in the dugout. Every time the camera pans over to the dugout, these guys look all business, or they look like they're just tired, or they're just watching the game and then they're going through the motions. That's it. There's no like high fives. There's no everybody hanging out, like having a good time. We don't have any of that anymore. We need that party starter. We need some hot bats, and we've actually going to have to get some consistency to back up this good pitching that they've been actually producing lately. We started out with bad pitching. Pitching's been like the ship has been righted on that one. But now we got to get that offense involved and actually get some consistency moving forward.
Yeah, so I'll go back and look at the box score for Thursday. Lesniewski gave up 9 hits. All right. Gave up 9 hits, and they scored 2 runs. But you only had three Astros that were left on base for the game. Like,
that's amazing.
Three Astros left on base. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. So, like, you weren't even doing anything. I mean, you were literally doing nothing. Yesterday's game, Fromber gives up 3 hits. 3 hits yesterday. Astros get 6, and they get 3. And you lose 2-0. Right? It's another wasted outing by our number one. I don't think he's the ace anymore, because I feel like that's more of a Hunter Brown thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But, I mean, Fromber's 1-3 with a 4 ERA right now. I think 2 of those losses are solely on the fact that he pitched good enough to get the win, but the offense, couldn't carry their end of the deal. And so, talk about it before, where when your offense isn't scoring runs, the pitchers have to be perfect. And for the most part this year, they have been. But your offense it just goes to freaking sleep. It goes to damn sleep. And you wake up one morning and like 7 runs is a good day, right? But for us, it's like an outburst. So you wake up on a Sunday morning and you have the outburst, right? You have the 7 runs. Well, Chris, tomorrow we play the Tigers for 3, right? So Skubal, we missed Skubal because I think he pitched on Saturday. I think it was.
Thank God.
So we're gonna miss Skubal, but right. So you're going straight from a very winnable series with the Royals into playing the Tigers. Tigers is new young club. They got some momentum. If I can find their record, they're 16-10. 16-10. They swept the Orioles over the weekend. It was in Detroit, but they swept the Orioles over the weekends. So you're going to sit, Chris, you touched on earlier, you're going to sit here running 500, win-loss, win 2 in a row, lose 2 in a row if your offense is inconsistent. And so I agree with someone has to take the blame for it. And that someone should be Cintron, right? I mean, there's a certain level of responsibility to the players. Like, hey, how about you just quit chasing balls out of the zone? Cool. I mean, we love you. You're a Houston GOAT. Feel free to take more than 1 pitch. First pitch is free. You don't have to swing at it. But someone's got to take the fall, and it's always one of the coaches. So I don't see what the downside is if Cintron walks, or not walks, but gets released and they get a new voice in there.
No, I agree.
I'll make a caveat to that.
Go ahead, Ross. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the one thing they cannot do is, if Cintron goes away, you cannot have Jeff Bagwell as your interim hitting coach.
Oh God, no.
And they've done that in the past. They have done that in the past, and by God, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I agree. I mean, I got nothing else. I mean, like, at this point, I mean, this isn't just. I mean, it's not just like how, like I said, it's not like a 10 games, slump. I mean, this was most of the year last year, and it bled into the playoffs, and we got bounced in the first round. I mean, so it's like, it's perfectly consistently inconsistent is what it is. I mean, because it's like, we're looking at Detroit coming up, and it's like, okay, everything in my blood, in my body tells me that they're going to go 1-2. But then it's like, they go, you look at who they got going pitching, and it's probably not the most friendliest matchup, and they'll go win 2 out of 3, or they'll sweep
Yeah.
the Tigers.
Mhm.
So, I mean, right now it's a damn crapshoot of what this offense is going to do. So like, but to also say like Wisniewski, even though like he kind of, like you said, he gave up 9 runs. I mean, he should have had a W his last 3 starts.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's at the point where it's just, I just want to see some consistency. That's it. I mean, even if you're losing games 6-4, 7-6, 4-3, 9-8, at least that offense is consistent. And it's not 1 run, 0 runs, 0 runs, 7 runs, 1 run, 19 runs, 0 runs, 1 run. And like they got to straighten that shit out. That's where I'm at.
Sounds like
And
it.
I'm out.
Well, one of the things I'm concerned about with this Detroit series coming up, I mean, you've got Flaherty pitching game 1, and then you've got Olsen pitching game 2. For you guys that don't know who Olsen is, he's 3-1 with a sub-3 ERA. So the guy can actually, go out there and make things happen. For the Astros, we've got Blanco going game 1. We've got Gusto going game 2. And then our game 3 pitcher is TBD. Now,
Ooh, that TBD.
Oh boy.
But is that TBD LMJ?
LMJ. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, could be.
Is it
That's nothing.
LMJ?
Because he just pitched in Corpus, and I saw something on X that they were going to meet with him. They were going to meet with him to discuss the next step. So it could be TBD could turn into LMJ.
Well, another fun fact about Olsen, he is the younger brother of one of the Olsen twins from Full House.
Is he really?
So there you go. No, I just made that up.
No, you're making that
I
up.
was gonna say.
Okay,
I
yeah.
just made that shit up.
That's where
you totally made that up.
That's where we need the.
You had me for like 2 seconds.
I mean, I figured we've already beat this
anyway,
offense to the ground. Might as well try to mix it up.
Good. That's pretty good.
I'm here.
Yeah. So to get away from being on the offense, going back into the pitching a little bit, we're gonna need a stellar start from Blanco. We're gonna calm down.
Not you. I
didn't say we're going to
I'm still laughing at his shit. Sorry.
You're still laughing at the Olsen twins?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, huh?
All right, fair.
Sorry. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead, bro.
Dad jokes are abound on the Juice Box Heroes here.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like I said, we're going to need some decent starting pitching coming up. And if Blanco can do the same thing he did the last time he was out, then I think we're going to be doing okay. Gusto hasn't looked bad in the starting spot either. And then if we get LMJ coming up, man, that'd be super exciting. And hopefully that's a spark we need. And we've talked about this, like you got to have a spark some way, somehow. Now, typically, we always think about that as like some bat coming up from AAA, maybe a move they make on the side, like, hey, we're going to send this guy down. He's getting DFA'd, Chas McCormick, and pulling somebody else up. But on this one, if we get LMJ on the mound, man, that might be the spark they need to actually get this going. So I'm hoping that TBD is LMJ. If it is not, then, Chris, you're our AAA super aficionado. So who do you think it would be if it's not Lance McCullers Jr.?
Colton Gordon.
Not to put you on the spot. Colton Gordon. Okay.
Okay, but what about Wisniewski? He just pitched on Friday. He'd be up in the rotation.
I mean, it could be him. I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, like, I'm all about Lance McCullers coming and maybe inserting a jolt into this team that clearly needs it. Wisniewski has not, in my opinion, has not pitched himself out of this rotation.
Correct.
So I don't know why he would be the sacrificial lamb. Gusto has looked fantastic his last start. So I don't think there's any reason for him to not to be ushered out of the rotation.
There's $85 million reason. $85 million.
I'm sure. Yes, I mean Well,
That's what it
hell, I
is.
mean, like you're paying 95 to a closer. A closer gives you. Well, I mean, if you use your closer correctly, he should only give you 1 inning at a
Well,
time.
no, ours, Christopher, they get 2 innings.
I'm just
Okay.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Well, ours also does not utilize him correctly.
That's
So,
fair.
I mean, but I think you work him back slowly, make him that. Maybe you do like a piggyback with Gusto. Maybe on what is it, Wednesday? He starts, goes 4, and then Gusto comes in, gives you another 3, gives your bullpen a rest. And then you still got Arrighetti coming back. There's no reason to rush McCullers and put him in a situation where he feels like he's got to throw 8 innings. I mean,
No,
work
not
him
at all.
back slowly. I mean, you can do that. I mean,
No.
work him back slowly.
Your only problem is
So-
Gusto is scheduled for the Tuesday game.
Okay, well,
See, yeah. So Gusto's pitching.
maybe it's Arrighetti. Maybe Arrighetti's coming back. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see what TBD.
It's probably Lance McCullers though, because they were saying they've been saying he's ready to come back at the end of April. So
yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, they'll make an announcement here in the next day or so. Chris, I know you didn't watch the game today. Bryles, you were doing your thing with the family, but Chas McCormick busted out a standalone mustache today, and he went.
All right,
he went.
hold on.
He went 3 for 3 today. So I'm just saying he can't shave it until he starts sucking again.
No, hold on. I got to find this.
He did.
He'll be shaving tomorrow night. There you go.
He did. I'm telling you, man. Chaz the stash. He broke it out. Mr. Standalone.
They gotta do
Slump
something.
buster. It's a slump buster, man. Slump buster.
Well, then maybe this is the year they all do mustaches, or like they gotta do something because.
So the Yankees get rid of their facial hair policy, and the Astros take it on.
Yeah,
with stashes.
Mustaches. That's it.
Just mustaches. Yeah. That's it. No, look. I mean, it was good for him. He had a good game. I mean, he had a good game. So, he was going for 4 hits, obviously, in like the 8th or 9th inning, and he did a check swing. Normal Chaz check swing, dribbler down the first base line.
So what you're saying is the power of the new mustache only lasted 3 at-bats.
That's correct. Yes.
That's fair.
Yes.
Hey, if it works, man, I'll go stash too. I'm not afraid.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, I can't do the stash. The beard hides my chins. I have to keep the beard.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the pitching, what TBD stands for. I mean, TBD ends up being. It'd be cool to see Lance McCullers back on the bump, man. Been a long time coming for him. He's looked pretty damn good on his rehab starts, but I agree, Chris. There's really no reason to rush this guy back for, it's not the pitching's fault that we're dropping these games. So, it's just not their fault, right? It's the offense. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I think, did anybody have the predictions from last week? Did we all go 2-1?
No,
I went with the sweep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, PK, you and I went 2-1.
We went 2-1. Yeah.
All losers.
All losers. All losers. So look, before we get into the predictions, because we got a few minutes left here, I put something in the post about our episode tonight. We really haven't talked about it. I didn't talk to y'all about it. It seems kind of like a stupid question based on the outings that this guy's had. Hunter Brown. He is 4-1 with a 1.22 ERA. What's the probability or the possibility of him winning 20 games this year?
Ooh.
With the offense currently the way it is?
As the end of his outing today. He's 4-1 so far.
So he's had what? He's had all 5. So he's got a decision all 5 starts.
He has to because he's had quality starts.
He had 6 starts.
6 starts.
Okay, so he had a no decision in one.
He had one no decision. Yep. Yes.
Oh, I would say if I was a betting man, I'm going to say no. I'm going to go. He wins 17 or 18. That's going to be what he finishes with.
Okay.
I can definitely see him winning 20 games, but the problem once again is that that offense, just like we've been talking about. So we're gonna have to see a spark somewhere in there because listen. Everybody has a bad game every now and again. I mean, I don't care if you're Hunter Brown, and don't get me wrong, dude. Hunter Brown has looked like the best pitcher in the American League so far,
dude, by far
this season. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Quick, let me interject real quick. And this isn't just this season. This dude has been the truth since what was that June?
Since he pitched in Detroit out of the bullpen.
Yeah, so that was like what, May or June last year.
It was early.
So for almost a full calendar year, this guy has been probably a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball, bar none. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't mean to steal Bryles' thunder, but it's just like off of his skill alone, I think he'll fight and get 18. I just think the offense is going to screw him out of the last 2. And like Bryles said, I mean, every pitcher is going to run into a crappy start here and there. So, Bryles, I'm tagging you back in.
No, you're good, man. And it's that was kind of the point I was making. It's like, he could have his stuff, and then all of a sudden one day he gets up there and, the ball's just not breaking by an inch, or he's off the plate by 2 inches on one side. And there's nothing you can do to control that. It's just, you just get a bad start. That's what's going to happen. But it also, when PK, you were talking about that, it reminded me of Roger Clemens, and I think it was either 04 or 05, when he took that like first 2 months of the season to like just kind of get ramped up like late. And then I remember his first 4 starts, he had a .53 ERA and he was 1-3. Mm-hmm. It's like, so listen, guys, our offense is currently not what we've been used to, but it's not 1-3 with a .53 ERA bad. So I think that he can get to that 20 win like plateau if he keeps pitching the way that he's doing right now, and he only has 1 or 2 of those bad days. And don't get me wrong, everybody's going to do it. Yes, even Paul Skeens, for all you super pitching fanatics out there that want to see, like basically a double no hitter going into like the 10th. But at the same time, I think he can do it. I think he definitely can do it. I think we have the defense to support him. And I am feeling a little bit of Chris saying that offense, you're going to need that. But, oh, man, it's a tough one. I think he's going to do it, but just barely.
Yeah, I kind of feel I have the warm fuzzies for it, for a 20 game plus season for him. So last year he started, pitching 31, started 30, went 11-9. He threw 170 innings. So far, like you said, Chris, 6 starts. He's 4-1, got 1 no decision, which I don't remember what game that was. But it's probably a game that we didn't hit the ball. That's probably what it was. Our bullpen blew it. Sorry, more likely. The loss is probably the game in which
actually I do think it was a bullpen. The one time the bullpen blew it. Yeah, pretty sure. I don't know.
Which, hey, look, we haven't talked about that.
We'll just call it Contreras.
We'll call it Contreras.
The Contreras phenomenon. But no, I think look, man, like Chris said, he's been mowing through teams since May, June last year, since that Detroit game when he came out of the bullpen. I mean, he has been, I agree, the best pitcher in the bigs. I mean, or at least in the American League for sure. We can debate all the other stuff, but he's definitely making himself a really nice contract when it's time for him to go hit the free agency.
Arbitration as well. So.
Yeah, I'll make a bold prediction and say that he is the American League starter in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't know who else you could argue with that. But no, I don't see. He's about to win Pitcher of the Month for the month of April. There's no way he's not winning Pitcher of the Month in the American League for the month of April. So
yeah,
no, I just thought I thought I'd just throw it out there because man, it's so fun to watch him because like he'll between pitches he's wound so much that he just like walks around the mound almost, gets right back to the rubber, gets the pitch before he toes the rubber, and then he's there to mow you down. Like we're not sitting here, and I know there's a pitch clock, right? But he is there to mow you down. So, yeah, it's been fun to watch, man. He is definitely the ace of our staff. So we'll see what happens. I think so. Chris says no to the 20 wins. Me and Bryles say yes to 20 plus wins. Maybe next week we'll look and see what Vegas had for it. But just for shits and giggles. But before we get out of here, Bryles, let's start with you. Predictions for the Tiger series.
Okay, I already went over the starting pitchers, excuse me. So we've got Flaherty game 1 going up against Blanco. Then we've got Olsen going game 2 up against Gusto. And then TBD, who is going on that one? Do we know?
I don't know.
I thought we had that whole discussion about we don't know.
No. But who's pitching for Detroit? That was where. Oh, it's Job. Job.
Oh, Jackson Job. Yeah, dude.
Jackson Job. Yeah.
That guy's legit too.
Young kid.
Super legit.
Yeah, I was going to say
27.
Well, it would make sense because he's 2-0 with a 2.7 ERA. So anyway, long story short, we got 3 pitchers in a row that have a under 4 ERA by a long shot. Here's what I'm going to do. We swept the Blue Jays, and I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I went 1-2. So I'm going to go 1-2 on this one. And, I hope our pitching gets it done. I hope our offense gets it done. And I hope we end up with a sweep. But if you're looking at Vegas odds, we're going into Detroit, which is a hot team. And they've got 3 really good pitchers coming up, even though Scooble's not in there. And we've got the mystery pitcher for game 3. So I'm going 1-2. I think we're going to squeak one out. And honestly, I hope we do better than that. If my predictions hold up, which have been absolutely terrible, I don't even know what my record is this season, but it's been awful. So hopefully I am completely wrong.
Before you get into this, and we need to talk about this offline. We need to keep track of our projections. When you said that, I'm like, dude, we should just see how absolutely shitty we are. But
I'm pretty sure I've nailed all my picks, to be honest.
I don't think you have.
I don't
think you have.
Be a betted man, with the exception of this last week where the offense screwed me over. I'm going to go 1-2 as well, but I'm not doing it to reverse psychology. I'm going to go 1-2 because this offense blows right now, and I'm going to continue to go 1-2 until this offense proves that it could be consistent, and it hasn't. So, I mean, we thought we were going to get it turned. We thought they were going to turn around that game that they scored 14 against the Angels, and we were like, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is back. And then it was back to 6 runs in the next 12 games. And then we went on a nice little winning streak. We finally won back-to-back games, and it's like, all right, we're back. We scored a total of 7 runs in 3 games, all in the last game against KC. So I'm going to go 1-2, not because reverse psychology. 1-2 because this offense can't get it together as of yet.
That's fair. I am going to go 2-1 because the last time I went into a series thinking, I know I'm turning into you. Last time I went into a series thinking we were going to get demolished, we actually held our own. Now this one's not at home, right? We're in Detroit.
We're home. They were home.
So we're home, just like it was when the Padres came to town. I don't know.
Let's double check that. Bro, so are we home?
Give me 2 seconds. Yes, we're home.
All right.
Yeah, see, just like I told you, son.
So just like the Padres
my picks are right.
Just like the Padres series, I didn't think we were going to do. I figured we'd go 1-2, but I took the reverse and went 2-1. I will go 2-1 for the Tiger series, and I'm gonna say we just get back on track, man. I mean, this offense is too damn good to be this shitty, like all the time. I mean, at some point, it's got to click. It's got to turn around. Look, maybe with Jordan getting these, I think he had a double today, and he had a bomb. I think
he looked good. Yeah,
he did. Maybe with him, getting the extra base, the extra base hits. Maybe it just kind of things just start falling into freaking place. So that's what I'm going with. 2-1 for me, 1-2 for Chris, 1-2 for Bryles. We will see what happens. And maybe an LMJ sighting on Wednesday. Who knows? But we'll let you know.
We'll see.
Make sure you keep checking us on Twitter or on X at Juicebox Heroes. Make sure you follow our Facebook page at Juicebox Heroes. And as always, I want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. I hope everyone had a great weekend, had a great start to your week. We will be back on Thursday, and until then,
will we? I don't know. We're gonna. It might be later because we gotta make a game on Thursday.
Well, we still will be on Thursday. Might just be later. But until then, I'm PK. That's Chris. That's Bryles, and this is the Juicebox Heroes podcast.
Hook 'em.
That's right. Sweeping of the Ags, baby.
Number 1 in college baseball.
Look, man, they hit a bomb in the 8th inning to take the lead. The Longhorns did.
But could they beat
No,
San Jack? That's the question.